Hello. Hello. Good morning. Hello from Peru. Well, hello from Mexico. Well, good morning, everyone. And today we're gonna have one of our dive master, Pascal. He's gonna talk about shark. Pascal is a biologist, and he works as an advisor in two ONGs, which is Shark Institute Educational and Stop Finning. So feel free to ask any questions. Let's just wait for his connection. Hello.
Hello. Do you see me? Do you hear me?
Yes, I can
Okay,
see
all
you,
right.
hear you.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us.
So, as I normally begin always, I wish to thank all the nice and beautiful people I was working with till now, all the beautiful and nice people I was able to work with, people that taught me. And so I'm able today to share all that knowledge that I didn't invent it, but that people shared with me, mixed with my experience and with all the experience of all the dive guides I ever worked with. So that's been done. Hello and welcome everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about behavior and interaction today. So you're very welcome to ask any questions. There's no stupid question, just stupid answers. And before I begin, just let's say that interaction behavior is pretty much difficult to explain because our words, so it's pretty much doomed already from the beginning. So you have to interact to understand. So talking about is that our words are just not enough. We tend to use words that we use in our behavior. We humans, we mammals. So sharks are far away from what we are. So we're going to use words like aggressivity, friendly, but a shark is not aggressive or friendly. He's just a shark. So let me give you an example. We have a situation with a shark, the same situation, and we have two different people going to see that situation. So we're going to have that guy that might not have a family tree that branches. He might be a redneck, and he's going to be having seen an aggressive shark that he has to struggle and wrestle his way out to come back to the boat. And then we're going to have that girl that she might have like rainbows on her night dress, and she's going to say, oh, I had that super friendly shark, and he wanted to kiss me. The same situation, but two different perspectives. Actually, a shark enthusiast is going to say, oh, that was a pretty curious shark. So just to give you the example of how words can just give a misconception of behavior or interaction. So I have like a couple of words that I pretty much don't like. So aggressivity. A shark is not aggressive. He's not friendly. So actually, today we have people telling that sharks can be friendly. So that's pretty good, because in the 90s when I began to work with sharks, most of the time it was like the word aggressivity or words like bloodthirsty. A shark is not bloodthirsty. It's not like a Michael Myers berserk type. There is no frenzy sharks. Feeding frenzy is a word that you find a lot. They know, actually they exactly know what they're doing. They don't get frenzy. They don't go crazy when they're feeding. It's just too quick for our eyes. So that's kind of all those misconceptions. Words like shark infested water. I like shark infested water. There's nothing negative, but we don't have that actually. So just to give like an introduction of how mindset can can give like a false perspective on what a shark actually is doing. Also, a lot of people are actually afraid of depth, of darkness, of water. So, and they're going to tend to give that fear a face, and that's going to be the dolphin. No, the shark, actually. Okay? So, like, we have to make our minds free of all that and put the shark in the center of our thoughts and not ourselves. That's the other problem we have. We always have the perspective of we are in the center of the world and everything happens because we are there. So let's get free of all that and talk about sharks as what they are, with the words well chosen to explain what they're doing. A lot is unknown, a lot is speculation. So I would like to invite you to speculate and discuss a little bit with me about that whole thing. So we know actually animals that we interact every day. Dogs, cats, we know them. We are with them 24/7. We understand them pretty well. We know what they're doing. We read their body language. When your dog wants to go out, you understand him without words. You see what he's doing. So that's what we have to try to do with sharks. But the only problem is we're not with sharks 24/7. We didn't grow up with sharks. So every little thing that we might understand is very important. So we don't know a lot, but we try, like what I did during my time in the university, trying to quantify or to qualify things and to be sure that what we're saying is correct with numbers. It's pretty difficult, and actually I have to tell you, you learn every day and you actually find out that it's perhaps not even true. So it's a lot in the dark, you have plenty of shades. It's not black and white, but humans need drawers to put things in to understand things. So I'm gonna put a lot of drawers just to make things clear, but you have to understand it's kind of a drawer alarm. There is no black and white. It's just kind of trying to understand, trying to explain something. But I don't want to actually, at every time I'm gonna say something, you might add perhaps, or it might be different, it might be another thing, and so on and so on. I'm not gonna do that, just to say it now. Everything what I say might be different on one point. When we learn more or something, have another experience, they're pretty welcome to share it. So to understand shark behavior, we have first to know the zero line. That means if we talk about a specific species, we have to actually know their normal behavior. So what's the normal behavior? So we need kind of what we call the zero line, the normal behavior, to know that wasn't the normal behavior. Now the shark is perhaps nervous, he's perhaps shy, he is this or that. So, and then we have different species, you're gonna have different patterns. So I have a lot of people that comes on boats and have like perhaps experience with reef sharks, and we going to dive with blue sharks. So, and I tell them, look, they're going to come very close, and I've experienced with sharks, I've experienced with no problem. And then actually after the dive, they come up, have to change their suits and clean them because the blue sharks came very close, because blue sharks come close very quickly. That's what blue sharks do. They're not reef sharks that needs time to come in to be confident. So every species is going to be different. You have some species that are pretty interactive, others that are more shy, and so on and so on. So how can we do that? So we need something that we can quantify. So when you see a shark, like you have like three things that you can see straight. You're going to see an angle. In which angle is he swimming towards you? Which speed is he going to have? And the height. So let me draw that quickly. I'm gonna draw a shark quickly. Clack, clack, clack. So see that? I draw, so you see I have horns, that's a tiger shark. So, okay, so you're gonna have a shark here. Yeah, the guy came prepared. You can be here, here, or here. So underneath him, the same height, or above him. So when the shark comes underneath you, and he's coming underneath you, he's gonna be, like what I say, he's gonna feel some insecurity. He's gonna try to have all advantages for him. So he's gonna be kind of protected by the ground or by the depth with his color of the back. So he can like kind of camouflage. He have a lot of senses that goes toward us. So that's not going to be the best shark to interact with because he feels kind of insecure. So the shark that's going to come above you, he's going to be he's going to be very indifferent. He's going to have other things to do. He's going to show his belly to you where he don't have a lot of senses. He's going to be indifferent. That's like just, it might be something else. He might have something else to do. He's pretty much not interested in you because he exposes himself. And then the shark that comes to you on your level, that's going to be the shark that wants to interact with you. Or actually, that's going to be the shark that have more interest in you. So now you have the height, and you're going to have an angle. The angle is going to, or you're going to pass pretty far away from you or pretty close. That's going to show you something like confidence or shyness. That's going to be perhaps an alarm. So I'm using exactly those words that you might not use because it's like just what we feel. Or he's going to be scared and he's going to be far away. So the angle on which he's going to swim towards you is going to give you an idea of how confident he is interacting with you. That can change over the situation. He's going to come again and again and again, and perhaps going to come closer. That's going to be up to you. Your behavior is going to change the situation. And then you're going to have speed. So the more harmonic the shark is going to swim, the more relaxed he's going to be. So the speed or the way he's swimming is going to give you an idea of nervousness. So that's already a lot of information that you're going to have. Like just watching the shark and seeing which is the direction, what is the speed, and what is the height. Is he interested in you or not? What you shouldn't do is when a shark comes above you, like swimming up and crossing his way. So you wait till the shark comes towards you. You don't be active. Your behavior is gonna decide. So this shark is actually in a state between nervousness, shyness, and interest. And it's up to you now to higher the interest, the curiosity, and to lower the level of shyness, to be able to interact. That's not always working. I mean, there's a lot of components that we don't even understand. So that's not always going to work. By the way, it's kind of weird to talk alone with the phone. Huh? It remembers me my first talk in the university. So I had one guest left listening to me, one. And the poor guy had the presentation after me, so.
Well, you have 21 people listening to you.
Yay, thank you. So that have been said, so we have those three things that we have that gives us information straight away. Then so that's already body language, reading body language. So you can do a lot with that. And then you're gonna have something else that's more specific, is like fin positions. So the shark is using his pectoral fins actually to glide. It's like a plane, okay? So he's using them to glide. If he wants to turn, you have much more possibilities than that, but basically what he's doing is like bringing one pectoral fin down, and then if it's the left one, he's going to turn left. If it's the right one, he's going to turn right. So you can see when a shark is going to turn a moment before he turns in just watching his pectoral fins. It's not always working because he can burst with the tail. He can do a lot of things, but actually when he swims harmonically, he's going to use a lot his pectoral fins to turn. So that's going to give you an idea when the shark is going to turn. And there are a lot of other things that you can see in body language. So what we have to understand is like body language is sometimes a very little thing that we have to discover. Look, when I blink my eye, that can mean a lot of things, and it's a little movement. So we have to find that little movement and be able to find out what that little movement means by an animal that we don't know. It's not even a mammal, so it's far away from what we are. So we already have problems to understand apes that are very, very close to us. So when we show teeth, most of the time we say like we show aggression. When an ape shows teeth, he's laughing. So already like in between man and apes, it's like big differences. So how can we understand that? So we have to have a lot of examples and find out. And then we have a lot of different components interacting with the whole situation. So we have to actually assess every situation from the beginning. Even if it seems to be the same, doesn't mean it's the same. Because it's a boat there, it's a reef there are other sharks, there are other divers, even a fishing boat far away that you don't even know that it's there, a whale carcass, so much things that we don't even know that they're there, but we have to assume that all that can change something and reassess every situation from the beginning and try to understand, put ourselves back, our mindset, and erase our anthropocentric, our like what humans do, putting themselves in the middle of everything, and try to do what is deep ethology, putting the shark in the middle of the thought and trying to understand why he's doing that and why he's perhaps not doing the same thing that last time. And sometimes you just have to admit we don't know. That's it. So actually, with fin position and angle, speed, height, we can assess a lot. And then it's up to you and your behavior to trigger curiosity and make sure your group is doing the same. So you always have the one that is like disturbing the whole thing. You don't want to be the one disturbing the whole thing. That's what I always tell my guests. You don't want to be the one. You're going to hear it the whole week, but you always have something, even when you don't know what you're doing, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much a good introduction to what we're going to talk about. Any questions that we already have that
we already have one question. But first, I want to tell you this little story. So I was one time diving with a blue shark, and I was with two people that they have never seen sharks, right? And the rest of us, we like love sharks and like wanted to be with the shark and stuff. But as soon as the other two people went into the water, the shark went straight to the other person that they were like so scared. So we were like, was it the heartbeat or what was it that they just like went straight to those two people that were the least interested of the shark compared to us?
Yeah, so first of all, like I'm gonna go like speculation first. You have that kind of people. So I want to be one of them. Sharks always go to other people. Like I'm pretty unlucky actually. I really have to go for and search for, and then you have guys that just attract them. Like perhaps Ivan. Ivan always find hammerheads. Always. Like he go diving, I had hammerheads. And I like 2 days now, I don't have seen one. And like you are 2 times here, 3 times there. So you have those people. So in my PhD project, I was trying to find out if human stress actually, or like it was like bull shark reaction on human stress. Does a bull shark react on human stress? And all kind of stuff. So is it the heartbeat? The heartbeat is an electrical impulse. And he sensed that with the ampullae of Lorenzini. But it's just working in centimeters. So half a meter maximum. So if the diver is not like super close to the shark, it's not going to be the heartbeat.
Right.
But, you know, like behavior is like that weird thing. So he probably vibrates differently. So I'm not going to go into an esoteric thing, you know, but so I was asking myself a lot of time, like the stress things is kind of attracting sharks, but how that works, I cannot tell you. Is it working, or is it just we wanting that to happen because it's like kind of a vibrating, esoteric, metamorph thing that we don't understand? Do we want it so much that we see that so often, or is it really happening? So I cannot really tell you, but two things, stress seems to attract them. It's not going to be hormones, because hormones have to first be, like they have to be produced in the body, then they have to be taken in the water, and the current have to bring it to the shark. It happens so quick that it cannot be hormones, cannot be the heartbeat, but it's happening. So yeah, first thing, like I have to admit again, and that's going to happen a lot, we don't really know. And I couldn't quantify a lot during my, so I changed project because I was not finding any measurable things. I couldn't quantify. I could see that with stress level, sharks coming closer, and actually they're always coming from behind, those little buggers, and but we never understood how they're doing it. Yeah. Pretty good question, but okay. No, I don't know.
Oh.
But they're pretty.
So we have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, go for it. Go.
We have a question. We have a question from Jen. How can we change the mindset of a killer machine? What can we do?
Again, can you repeat?
So how can we change, I think what she's saying is, how can we change the perspective of how people see sharks as a killer machine?
So as you know, my little Jen, hello to the Bahamas, by the way, we already did a lot. When I began to work in the 90s, nobody was saying, I saw a friendly shark, even if it's not, a shark is not friendly, but we didn't have that. So actually my work, and that's why I find behaviorism so important, is that fear from people that don't know sharks can just be overwhelmed by knowledge. So the more we know and the more we can explain why things are happening, the less people are going to be scared. We cannot change their face. The sharks just don't have mimic in their face. So it's the hardest thing for them, because we most of the time don't protect things that are not nice to watch, like dolphins. Yeah. Even if we have more accidents with dolphins than with sharks, we tend not to protect. So the only thing we can do is knowledge, educating. What I do, going to schools, teach kids, but teach shark enthusiasts, teach whoever, talk to a lot. You work with sharks, Jen, so all of us that work with sharks have a crucial, very crucial role in not only bringing the people to the sharks, but also to educate when we're doing that, and presenting the sharks as what they are, and not making a big circus number out of it. So we don't have to make a circus. We don't have to put the shark in a role of an entertainer. Sharks are amazing as they are. If we show them as they are, what they are, more and more people are going to understand that they're not killer machines. Okay, we can play with numbers. Statistically, it's not, but we have to, to bring it to the people. Most of the people that are afraid of sharks don't even know sharks. They never have been in the water. They're just scared because of media. So So it's like it's an everyday fight that we are in a crucial role, everybody that works with them, to educate the people, not only making the money quickly with bringing the people to the sharks, but educating. So what we in our company nowadays in Nautilus, we do pretty well, and others are doing the same things, not as much, but that's what you can do by your own will, without having the company in your back giving you any things to do. So you can do it every day. Go dive and educate.
Yeah. And I think the ecotourism companies now, they're doing a great job to conserve the sharks. Like, I think by just supporting this company, actually going on a liveaboard or going on a safari, like, and taking pictures, even if it's with a GoPro, and just sharing to your friends. I think from my part, like when I go to a safari or I take pictures and I show it to my friends and I'm diving with a shark, they're like, wow, you're diving with a shark. And I'm like, yeah, like I do it thousands of times. And that kind of changed the perspective. Just seeing it too much in social media, the sharks and with people, I think that's changing people's perspective.
Absolutely. And on the other hand, like conservation nowadays is just going to work if somebody is making money with it. If it's not going to be sustainable, if it's not a business on the other hand. So if people understand that ecotourism is a business, and you can make a lot of money and you can do good marketing with it, it's going to bring a lot more comprehension for the whole thing and for conservation. Back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, shark conservation was a thing that you did with your own sweat, with your heart, with your blood. But it's not sustainable. If you're out of power or you have a regular job that you have to follow and you don't have the time to put yourself into that, nobody is going to do it. So if it's a business and money is involved, it's going to be sustainable. Sustainable for the sustainability of the oceans. So, and actually, I think we are on a better way that we were. It can be better, but it's like it's pretty okay what we're doing.
Yeah, I think you got a really good point. Like, I think a lot of people think because these companies are receiving money from doing that, it's not a good thing. But it is, as you said, they need to support themselves somehow. The liveaboards, they need to go and pay for the diesel and people that works there. So yeah, it's sometimes I think that's that misconception that, oh yeah, but they're earning money, but they need to, like.
I mean, look at Greenpeace and even Sea Shepherd. Everybody have a logistic to sustain. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't sell T-shirts, you don't sell like gifts. You're not gonna be able to sustain a big NGO. And having like a small NGO, that's why I work to small NGOs, is because the ways of decisions are pretty short. But you have a small company actually, and you're not making big things. You're not involved in politics and in paying loan checks and stuff. But you're smaller. So as bigger that you grow, the more money you need, and the money has to come from somewhere. So making money with the idea of conservation is not bad at all. It's not, for me, it's not something that don't go together. People have that misconception: if you are conservative, like a protector, no, you're not allowed to make money. That's just not true. Of course, you need money, and if you don't have fundings, and the fundings come from somewhere, somebody has to make the money. So why not making the money with what you're doing? It's going to be way easier. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So can you tell us a little bit what does Nautilus on the liveaboards helps you out in your research, or how do they help with the conservation besides of like what I for me is protecting the park that, like for example right now that we are not out there, we don't know if illegal fishing is happening. um like we don't know how much it's been fishing, and we are scared that maybe this is taking 50 years of socorro in wildlife. So can you tell us
Yeah,
a little bit about that?
yeah, I mean, we all like we can't wait to embark to make countings. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all in the same spot now. Like, we know fishing is going on. Nobody is out there. Nobody is like watching. So actually, we also, the rangers, all liveaboard that go out there are the park rangers. We take care of each other. We take care that there's always somebody there. So there is no way for fishermen to go in now that, and everybody knows, like, the ports are closed, so nobody can go out there. Nobody is going to catch them. The only people out there is like the marine with one boat. They're not going to be able to do a lot. So yeah, we have to go out as quick as possible. Ports have to open again, like, just like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have to open. And what we do for researchers, actually, we help in CONAMP. We have like projects that go on board, like researchers that come on board and doing their research, helped by CONAMP or helped by us, like with tagging animals or whatever project is going on. So I'm not on each boat, but I know things are going on. So that's a better question to be asked at Mike to answer what he's all doing. But what I know, he's like paying scholarships for students. He's funding some projects. CONAMP is coming on our boats, as I said. Researchers are coming on our boat to tag animals for their research. So stuff is going on, yeah.
Yeah, I know from Mike, he tried to put a boat and invite all the people from the Conab and Semarnat, but they didn't allow them to go out. They are only allowing the fishermen to go out. But he's like, okay, I give my boat, I put the diesel, and Conab can go and do the research, or just check what's happening. And they say, no, only fishermen.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. Yeah.
I mean, it's well, I'm not going to involve into politics, but you know, it's a dirty business. All that is a dirty business. You don't know who is involved with what, and I'm not going to enter into that discussion because I'm not. I'm not the person that have the answers for that because I'm not involved in the Mexican politics. But I know stuff from Portugal, so everybody is involved, and even in Europe. So, and Mexico is perhaps even worse because corruption is everywhere, and it's not only here; it's like everywhere. So I can imagine that, yeah, things, you know. So but I'm not going to enter into that discussion because I don't know enough to be able to really say something that is true. So that's just speculation.
Yeah. Well, we hope we can go out soon and count the animals, and we hope that everything is as we left it.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Yeah. So we have a videos that you sent me. Do you want me to show anyone to people and talk a bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, so perhaps you can show some of the videos, you know, where like cleaning videos, like I have a video of I think a hammerhead that gets cleaned and silver tips that gets cleaned, because what we have to understand also is, like, when we try to interact with sharks, we have to choose wisely with which shark we're going to interact. Here, that shark is not a good shark to interact with. He's getting clean, so he's doing his own little thing. So that's really like the talk to the hand. He's doing his thing. He don't want to be disturbed. So yeah, again, we have to assess the situation first and to check out what animal is really interested in us, or is he perhaps doing their own thing, what sharks do, and are pretty much indifferent towards us. So as you see here, that shark is like swimming like a little bit in a 45-degree angle, swimming pretty slowly, and have all those angelfish coming to clean them. They have a kind of what do you say in English? It's not mushroom. It's like they have like parasites and stuff on their skin because they're traveling far and they're coming to the islands to get cleaned. So yeah, we have to know that sharks that are getting cleaned, or they are schooling or feeding or whatever they're doing, they might have something different in their mind than interact or curiosity towards us. They might have their little shark things to do. So yeah. So I think I have another one with silver tips getting cleaned.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So here you see, like that's what they do. Like they come into the cleaning station and giving like a 45-degree angle to, that's a signal to the cleaning fishes that they are ready to get cleaned. Actually, it's a signal, so it's a symbiosis. Actually, the sharks and the cleaning fish, by the way, every reef fish is a cleaning fish in a period of his life. Actually, we have fishes that just clean, like the the actual cleaning fish and the clarion angelfish that cleans their whole life, but every other reef fish is a cleaning fish in a part of his life. So they have like signals that they give to each other to when they're ready to clean. So it's a symbiosis that works pretty well. When the shark is ready to get clean, he gives that signal, and the reef fish actually knows he's not in a hunting mood. He wants to get clean, so I'm safe coming to him and clean him, because the symbiosis just works if both have an advantage. If the shark would begin to eat, like show the fishes, I'm ready to get clean, and then eat them, this symbiosis is not going to survive for a long time, because all the cleaning fishes are going to get eaten, and then no more cleaners. So the symbiosis is a thing that both have an advantage, and they have to follow the rules, because if not, it's not working. So
it's
actually,
kind of like what you say. It's kind of like an interchange. So I don't eat you, but you clean me.
exactly, that's what it is. And when they're not showing that pattern of being ready to be cleaned, perhaps the cleaning fishes are not going to come close. Like that's kind of like the fishes are reading body behavior, like or body language also. Sometimes you have a shark eating a carcass, and then you have a lot of groupers and stuff coming and eating on the carcass too. And I was always asking myself, how can they know they're not going to get eaten? Because they're reading that body language actually, and know I'm safe now. And on another hand, when the shark is hunting, he shows a different pattern, and the fish are just able to read that. And and sometimes they get eaten, but so that it's like kind of an understanding also in the fishes to read the body language correctly, to know when they're safe and when they have to hide.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. And the one of the hammerhead, is that scalloped hammerhead, or which type of hammerhead is it?
Yeah, that's Lewini. That's the one we have in Socorro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are actually like, wouldn't you say that when they're actually cleaning, like in a cleaning station or something, is it not easier to approach? Because for what I have experienced in Socorro, they just always so far.
So cleaning station is cool to observe sharks, but not interact. So
yeah.
when doing their own thing, it's pretty cool to observe them because they're doing their thing, but you're not going to be able to interact. So they're completely indifferent to you. They're doing their own things, and my idea is they're probably thinking, those big animals, that we don't know what they are, coming here to get clean too. So we safe here because they're not going to be like a bad mood, because everybody coming to the cleaning station to get clean and not to hunt or to feed. So that's my idea of when we there, they're just thinking, those guys are coming to get clean, but I'm here and I'm going to get clean. So what you can do on a cleaning station, you stay away and you observe the sharks. If you're coming too close to the cleaning station, you're kind of in the car wash. I mean, when you're in the car wash, the other is in line and waiting for the place to get free. So you getting into the cleaning station, the sharks are going to go away because you actually getting cleaned, kind of, for them. So it's not free. So you better stay away and observe the beautiful thing that is happening in front of you. But don't approach too much, because then you're just going to scare them away. So that's when they're doing their things, like getting cleaned, feeding, even schooling, like when Hammerhead schools, it's not the best interaction because they're doing their own little thing. So like with the schooling, I'm kind of in between because you're never going to interact with one shark. But I always say interaction begins when the shark, when you see the shark and he's not doing something, because he allows you to see him. So that's already the beginning of an interaction. Because if he's not interested in you and he's not doing something specific, what a shark do, he don't have to be there. He's way safer if he's far away, because he's going to know that you're there, but you're not going to see him. If he allows you to see him, that's my understanding of it. I mean, it's not the final truth, but if he allows you to see him, he sees you too, and it's the beginning of something like interest from the shark for you, and then something can evolve out of that if you behave well. Let's see like that. Yeah. So behaving well. I mean, the art of interaction like is to be passive. When you don't have a lot of experience, passivity is the best. You wait till this thing happens. You just you stay there. You choose a shark. You can swim a little bit towards him, but the best is just to wait. If you're in a group, to give some space to the shark that he can maneuver, and wait till he invites you. You know, like you have to imagine a shark have like kind of a bubble around him, like his personal space. So when you enter a lift and you have somebody just right here, kind of uncomfortable, you know, like he intrudes my personal space. You don't feel really comfortable. That's how I tend to explain those things. So don't intrude personal space of a shark. Let the shark invite you over time. So the more confident he gets, the more curious he gets, the closer you're gonna come, and then you're gonna invite you. It's much nicer to get invited close to somebody, like talking about people now again, because that's what we understand, than to intrude, to like go for it too hard. So that's always like kind of like, and you're gonna give space. The more you come close and he's uncomfortable, the more he's gonna give you space. So that's like kind of that bubble, and that's probably that bubble is kind of specific for every species or even every shark, because they have character. So like I compare it to cats or dogs, even if you shouldn't do it, but like you have like dogs that they're all behaving the same, but actually they're behaving all the same, but every one is behaving like the other, but a little bit different.
Yeah.
So and with the sharks it's the same. You have some that are more confident, you have some that are more dominant, you have some that are more shy. So you might not have the right shark, or you might have the best ever. So it's just like kind of a play, and sometimes you lose because you just have the wrong shark, or you have that one idiot like doing strange things just behind you and you don't know, or a third or a fourth person that you don't even know about somewhere doing his stuff and like just scaring the shark away. So it's not always you, but like that's basically the thing you should do, like being passive, just waiting for the right moment. And when the shark comes close and he's watching you, I mean, that's like the best interaction you can ever have. And he's watching you, you're in his focus. I mean, that's great. An animal that don't even know you, that have perhaps never seen a human. We don't have to think that every shark that we go, even in Socorro, know what a human is. He might have seen some before, but he still don't know what that is. I mean, it takes a long time evolutionary for an animal to really understand what another animal is. So watching you, being in the focus, you already did a lot of things right. And then when he begins to circle you and to come closer and to do his stuff, I mean, that's just like, wow, amazing. Yeah. So, and then things you can do is, so try to be vertical. I mean, it's kind of difficult. It depends a little bit what you want. The safest thing to dive with shark when you're not experienced, or safest, or like the best way, like being vertical, because everything in the sea is kind of horizontal. So being vertical give them a misconception of what you are. They will have more difficulties to really to perhaps have them, or they're not going to misunderstand you for something else. The curiosity might be bigger, but you it's just curiosity. You're not going to trigger something else. Being passive, not swimming away. You never should swim away, because first of all, you're going to lose that run. You're not going to be quicker than the shark. So you better stay, and you're not going to trigger a claim response. I mean, claim response is, to compare again with dogs, you have a dog and you have a rope, and you're taking the rope away, and you're taking it away, and the dog is going to go after it. Even if he's not interested in that toy, the toy is just laying on the floor, the dog is there, you're taking it, he's going to go for it. That's kind of what I want to compare it when you swim away from a shark. It's not dangerous, it's just going to, when you begin to swim away, he's going to perhaps have that claim response and just scare the hell out of you, and you don't want that. I mean, that's why try to stay there, dominate your place, even if you don't feel dominant and you feel like kind of intimidated. You play the dominant role, and you face them. Try always to see where the sharks are. I don't like that word, but they tend to sneak behind you. So I have a video, I think, like, I don't want to, like, I don't know which one you have, but it's like, I think bump from behind, like bull from behind.
I have this one.
Yeah, this one, yeah. So you see, they're much more confident when they're coming from behind than from the front. So then I think I have, so that's, see, they're coming close to touch you. I have another one, like I think it's a white shark or white bump or something. So yeah, back in the days we were even like, that's Gans Bay, South Africa, diving without cages.
Wow.
I mean, you know, like back in those days, was I just, I think, I mean, I had really to force myself to enter the water, because we didn't really know what we're doing. But anyway, so sometimes they touch you. So I said interaction can be everything in between. A shark sees you and you see him, to touching. So everything in between. So the shark sees you, and then he's gonna swim patterns. He's gonna like come closer. He's gonna try to collect as much information as possible with all his senses. So lateral line, smelling, with the eyes. And you have some sharks, like some characters, some of them, not species-wise, but like characters, like individuals, that are very confident and coming very, very close to touch you, to get like the last bit of information that they can have. So when a shark bumps you, nothing dangerous, nothing bad. It's just that you did everything right, actually, and the shark is that confident because you behaved that good, and he wants to have like the last little bit of information that he can have. That is touching you. Like you have a new toy, and you at one point you're going to touch it just to feel like how does it feel, and that's what they're going to do. I think I have another one. Let me is it? No, yeah, I have another one that is a tiger hit. So about body language again. So that's an animal that touches you, shows you interest and curiosity. But then you have on the other side the body language, and they're gonna never trick you. They're gonna show you exactly what they want, and you're gonna understand. That's gonna be a hit. So that shark don't want you there, and you're gonna see how he shows you that. It's not gonna be just a little bump. He's gonna just show you exactly without tricking you. So body language with sharks is pretty clear. They're going to show you with their body what they want and what they don't want. Not like a dog or a cat that's going to try to trick you. So yeah, it's not a good video, but he's really like hitting into the diver.
Yeah.
because he don't want you there. So a shark that don't want you somewhere is most of the time swim away. Most of the time he's just gonna swim away. But if he understands you like a concurrence for food or eventually for mating, here it's probably the turtle that brings the situation into that. So he wants to eat the turtle, and that diver is somehow under, like the shark understands him as a concurrent. He's not going to bite him. Sharks don't bite themselves just to tell them something. They're not going to bite. They're going to bump into each other. They're going to push. They're going to bump. So they're not going to bite into another shark. They're going to do other things. So it's not, you're never going to have to be afraid about like a shark biting you. They're going to show you a lot more before biting is not even an option. Okay.
If you see the shark, like if you're seeing the shark, it's not likely to come and bite you, right? Because if they were going to attack you, you wouldn't see him coming.
I mean, like that's the big thing with like an attack. I'm never talking about attacks. There are no attacks. So there might be accidents because people are doing stupid things. There are a lot of stupid things that I can imagine. Even if they don't know, they're just like into a cloud of food. You have bad visibility. I mean, a lot of things can happen that a shark is going to actually involve you into an accident, but an attack is not what's going to happen. A thing that can emerge into something like a bite is when you in between food and the shark, and he's going to treat you like another shark, because that's when they get territorial. It's not because of the territory, but because of food. But that's like, I mean, like that's the 1%, or the 1 out of 10 millions. So you don't even have to talk about that. What can happen is that the shark sneaks behind you and out of curiosity goes for stuff what hanging on you, like the tank or something, and just like try a little bit, like a little bite in your hoses, because he's sneaking too close from behind and he gets super confident, and then you freak out and you swim away like crazy, or even hit the shark, and then perhaps maybe it can end up with a bite. But I mean, most of the time an accident happens differently. You have a food source somewhere, the shark is coming in, you don't have good visibility, and you making noise. So you're gonna know the smell. You have like rotten fish somewhere. You perhaps in the middle of the rotten fish. That happens, like the accident that actually happens a lot is on the beach close to a pier where people fish. So you have perhaps murky water because you have an inlet. So, and those things combine. So they're going to know the smell. They're going to know the noise because you might splash the water or swim somehow, like doing crawling. So they're going to know the noise because that sounds frequency-wise like a fish in agony or a prey that's nearly dead, like those frequencies. And then they cannot control with the eyes. And then you might get involved into an accident without knowing. But actually, that's an accident, and the shark is not going to tear you apart. He's going to bite and realize you're not prey and let go. So big wounds that are created are secondary wounds. So that's you ripping your arm out. So I might have a video, tiger from behind or something like that.
Tiger from behind. Not that one, right?
No, it's not that one. No, that's something else. That's something you shouldn't do. Like that's what
I was just gonna ask you about that.
You know, like we shouldn't do things like that. That's just circus number. I mean, I was doing stuff like that. That was a time we were just cowboys. We were like doing things and we're getting super confident. But then I realized we should respect the animal much more. Even if we can do things like that safely, we should have much more respect for the animal itself and present the animal as what it is, and not making kind of circus numbers, you know, stuff like that. Like, because there's no respect for the animal, it's just for the show.
Yeah, of
And
course.
and
Like,
and, and I mean, yeah, it's a learning curve, you know. You do something and you're getting through a whole curve. You do stupid things, and then you're learning a little more. You do less stupid things, and then you begin perhaps again to do very stupid things, and then you learn again and you evolve with your job. You know, like, I mean, I'm not freeing myself of doing stupid things or never doing stupid things again. You just, that's what we are. Like, we evolve and we're learning, and sometimes we just not doing it right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a
So
lot
when
of
I have another
places
video,
doing this interaction with the sharks, right? Would you say that it's convenient to do that? Like,
I
you said
mean, you
it would
know,
be better not to do it?
I mean, there are 2 points for those. Okay, so one is you have those cowboys, and and I was one of them, that are doing that for the show. But how did we realize that we can't do that? Actually, sometimes when we feed the tigers or the hammers there, they're coming close to the bait, and they're already rolling in. They're kind of rolling themselves, and sometimes they're just like upside down, and when they're upside down, they're kind of uncontrolled. They're just like biting around, and you're just there. I mean, you're just like half a meter away, so you actually just help them to make the whole roll, just to be safe. So
Okay.
that's how we find out we can do that with them.
Uh-huh.
But then, on the other hand, using that little trick just to make a number out of it, like a circus thing, I think that's not okay. To help them to make the roll to be safe, it's cool. But to do it on purpose, I think that's not correct.
Okay. Okay. So when
So
you say to help them to be safe to you.
for me, yeah, for me and
Okay.
for the customers especially, because I mean, you know, when you get a lot of experience, you know where to go, but like the customers don't know where to go. So it's like you're making the whole things correctly, you're turning them, and then they just swim away. If they stay upside down, they're kind of uncontrolled and go everywhere till they do the whole roll. So it's more about like safety than about a circus number. But then we were using that trick to make a number, and that's not okay. I think. I think that's not okay. That's not what we should do. We should respect the animal.
Mm.
So
So
even if
we have 2 minutes left. So
oh really?
anything you want to say?
Uh, uh, do we have any more questions?
No.
No? Okay,
I
cool.
think you answer everyone's questions by your talk.
So, what I wanted to say, perhaps at least one thing, mistaken identity. A lot of people talking about mistaken identity. I don't think that an animal that has 450 million years mistaken the identity of a prey or mistaken us for a prey. They absolutely know what we are. They don't mistake us. So, and even when people say white sharks are still mistaking us for seals or whatever, it's not true. Look, when they attack a seal, they make aerials. They go out of the water, they crush the bones of the seal before the seal hits the water again. That's not what they do with surfers. They're sneaking by and grabbing the feet and just making test bites. And even the animals that are doing that are not the same. Sharks that make aerials and eat seals are over 4 meters. So they integrate seals after a certain age. So white sharks that have more than 4 meters begin to hunt for seals. But the whites that are involved in accidents with white sharks are smaller than 4 meters. So that's not the same age range, the sharks that are involved in accident with surfers, than the sharks that goes for seals. And the motivation